Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lefty from 643 Productions and the Darth Empire coming at you here with another Black Ops sniping gameplay commentary, and you get a double dose today. You get new map Escalation gameplay. This is on the Escalation Map Pack Discovery, or not Discovery, Hotel. Why did I say Discovery? I don't know. Oh, that's why, because I was going to make a reference to Discovery later. This is the new map, Hotel, set on I believe on a Cuban high-rise. Very reminiscent, I would say, of the Modern Warfare 2 map, high-rise. There's a lot of similar aspects to it, a lot of similar construction, and just in terms of how the map flows and all these things, but I'll get into that later. So you get the Escalation Map Pack play, and you also get the post 1.08 sniping patch, or quote sniping patch, gameplay. So this is post 1.08 gameplay, and this is also Escalation Map Pack play. So I hope you guys enjoy. I am playing with a full squad. It's the best I could do on relatively short notice, and I'm not going to harp on this for too long, I promise, but it's really hard for the most part to get gameplays, especially with the new maps. Everybody is, or a lot of people are, Ghost, Silencer, camping. And I'm not going to rage about it. I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to rant about it. But a lot of people are using it, and it's troublesome. It's definitely troublesome to work with from a standpoint of trying to get a gameplay, because all it takes is one of them, or one or two of them, to almost completely ruin what you had going. So it's hard, but this is the best I could do on such short notice. It's pretty good, I would say, in my estimation. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best. I've done better. I'm not gonna lie, but I had fun playing this game, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, I think we get a pretty good spawn trap going here, without even really intending it. Again, I mean, this was the first day the map packs came out, so nobody on my team. I'm playing with Ernie, Ernest Lay. I say Lee, or I just call him Ernie. I believe Jay Brooks is on the team, as well as Mr. Steve Schwint. So we're all playing together, and this is kind of an unintended spawn trap. It's just kind of like, oh wow, we have him spawn trapped, okay. And this was just a really, really nice game all around, and so I decided to post it. Now onto the maps. I just recorded episodes 3 and 4 of Yeah Buddy with Snipinator, and we started talking about the maps, and he started, he was like, well, what do you like about the maps? And I have to say this, after having some time to think about that question, because he was the first person to really ask me, I was like, well, I'm really happy with what Treyarch did in terms of the setting the tone for the maps, because I think one of the things that we saw with Black Ops at its release was it was very bland. It was a very bland game, and I, in fact, did a commentary about it saying, well, Black Ops isn't necessarily boring, I think it's just bland, and sometimes people confuse being bland with being boring, and neither of them are good, but there's a distinct difference between being bland and boring, and I would say Black Ops, up until that point when I was doing the commentary, was more bland, due in large part, I would say, to the maps being very, very bland in terms of their color palette. I think what happened was Treyarch saw that, and we saw a little bit of it in the First Strike DLC, which is why I mentioned Discovery earlier, why I slipped up and mentioned Discovery earlier, because we saw with Discovery that was definitely an effort to infuse color into a map. I think there had to be a meeting at some point saying, oh my God, there's no color in these maps. In these maps that we put out with the game, there's very little color. And it's very monotonous, and it's not very interesting. And we saw a little bit of that in the First Strike DLC, the infusing of color and vibrant contrast into the maps. And now we're seeing it. We're seeing even more of it with Escalation, and Hotel is one of those maps. I'm really happy with that, and I'm really proud of what Treyarch did. Not only because they actually did it, but because they saw they became self-aware. They had to become self-aware. They're like, you know what? This is a problem. Let's fix it. And that's very, very commendable. Of course, there are other maps. Zoo is one. Zoo is a little bit more darker in tone, and it's weird. I don't want to sound like a struggling artist, but it's dark while still being colorful, and I know that's going to sound conflicting, but Zoo is definitely meant to be more of a dark map in terms of just the feel you get when playing it. It's supposed to be more of a darkish map. It's an abandoned zoo and you see, you know, where these wild animals were kept and all these things. So it's meant to be a darker map, but still, there is still color in it. There's a lot of greens, there's a lot of blues, there's even some orange, and I think that's a definite, or that was a good balance struck by Treyarch. Now, the only map, again, I would say Convoy, as far as color palette and ambiance goes, is a little bit more bland, but still, for some reason, it seems to me that the greens are greener, and the blues are more blue than in any of the other launch day maps that came with the game. I don't know what they did, but it definitely looks bigger, even though it's not a setting in which you would that screams color or needs or has a bunch of color, but it just looks different. It looks like it's colorful without being, you know, the entire, like, let's say, hotel. The only map that goes back really to the old form or to the old way is Stockpile, and that has to be by far, for many reasons, my least favorite map. It's once again, it's a big circle. Zoo is also a big circle, but this is a circular, or Stockpile is also a circular map centering around one big building. It's very, very camper friendly, and coupling that with people not knowing the maps, or little kids using not knowing the maps as an excuse to sit in a corner with Ghost and the Silencer, it can get pretty frustrating. So Stockpile is one I would look out for, but again, hey, you know, you gotta play them yourself, and decide for yourself what you enjoy and what you like. I guarantee you, there's something for everybody in this map pack, because I was again skeptical going into this, like I am every time, and I have been pleasantly surprised overall by this map pack. I think it's a very generous offering. All right, now I got a few things I want to get to here before we go, and one thing I have to say is this map, Hotel, this was the map where they started. Oh, and there's a little Tony Montana desk up there on the A flag spawn. If you can get up there, I'm pretty sure it's reminiscent of the desk Tony Montana had in Scarface in his office. But this was the map where people started talking about the elevators, or Treyarch when releasing the video say, oh, there's going to be elevators in this map, and they're going to be, you can control them, and you'll control that side of the map. They are useless. Like almost everything Treyarch has done with their maps, where they say, oh, where you can interact with the environment and it changes the landscape, they're wrong, because it doesn't. They're bad, they're useless, and they're completely and utterly pointless. Other than to have a good laugh riding them up and down and camping your ass off, there's no tactical advantage to having them. None. None at all. Every place you can access with the elevators, you can access someplace else, and it's usually not that far away. So there's really no point to the elevators being there, other than for Treyarch to say, it's like, well, look at what we did. This goes back to Discovery and the changing the ice paths or destroying them. It doesn't really change the map all that much, because there's so many different ways around. These are superfluous things that Treyarch throws in there, and I don't know why. Whether it's under the guise of, oh my God, look at what we're doing, look at all these reactive environments. Like, well, you know what? Battlefield has been doing reactive environments for how long on console? But anyway, that's a different discussion entirely. I hope you enjoyed this. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. By the way, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Just go to twitter.com/lefty643. Once again, that's twitter.com/lefty643. That's where you can interact with me, ask me questions. Please do so. I love being asked questions. I love interacting with you guys, and that's a great place to do it. Just go to twitter.com/lefty643. Also, be on the lookout for a few videos dropping on the Darth Empire. Again, I will post links either in a bulletin on my Twitter or in the description of this video. But anyway, that's my time. I gotta go. Be sure to check out the map packs for yourself and decide for yourself. Also, let me know in the comments what you think of all of you that have played the map packs. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. That's my time. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. I'm out.